Hello, WhatCulture, and welcome to your weekly episode of Raw Ups and Downs, where we do go through WWE's big show on a Monday, and we give the good bits a up and we give the bad bits a down. My name, if you don't know, is Simon Miller, and the only piece of information, other than the Raw stuff, which we'll get into in a minute, that I want you to take away today is that who needs a right arm? So just ignore this arm today, ignore it, doesn't exist, focus on the left arm, let's up some downs. Now, I didn't hate the start of Raw, and I actually thought it was quite entertaining. Of course, it did begin with Kurt Angle coming out and going, "Hey everybody, welcome to Raw." He didn't do that. He didn't do a little jig. I did that. Why I did that, I don't know. But I did. And anyway, his big announcement was that tonight on the show, Roman Reigns is going to face for the IC Championship. And then there was a pause because Jason Jordan came out and was like, "Look, fake dad, I'm your fake son. Give me the opportunity. I think I'm ready." And the crowd just booed the hell out of Jason Jordan. I thought that was quite entertaining, so that gets an up. However, once they did start having a chat, it was so cringeworthy and it was so obviously scripted. And I know it is scripted, but sometimes when it's this obvious, it's too much that I almost had to turn off my television. That gets her down. And I do want to point out, I don't blame Jason Jordan for this. Jason Jordan has been put in a terrible situation. I mean, who on the roster right now could pull this off? Who could pull off, "Oi, you wrestler dude, go out there and pretend that this other man is your father"? He's not your father, but you've got to pretend that he is. Go make that work. That's not easy. And it didn't make any sense either, because I thought that all week WWE had been promoting Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe for the Intercontinental title. But then I started to realise, well, maybe that's Jason Jordan's thing now, because that happened last week as well. They changed the match on the fly. So maybe this is like a meta storyline where Jason Jordan is using his relationship with his fake dad, who just so happens to run Raw, to change the show every week. Maybe I'm looking into that too much, but if you are doing that, WWE, kind of like it. This all then did descend into just one big row as Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe also came out to say, "No, let me have a fight." And the other guy was like, "No, let me have a fight." Then Jason Jordan suplexed Roman Reigns. So Roman was like, "Right, Joe, you wait a minute. I got to go beat up this guy instead." So it was a decent enough start, but it's just that relationship between Kurt and Jordan. It's like GCSE drama. And then amazingly, this did lead to a 20-minute match for the IC Championship between Roman Reigns and Jason Jordan. You know what? I'm going to give it an up. I mean, maybe it was a little bit too long, but still, WWE giving time for wrestlers to wrestle on Raw. I'm all right with that. Jason Jordan was allowed to shine, and when all was said and done, I think I had a good time. And of course, Samoa Joe stuck his oar in and he watched most of the match from the top of the aisleway. And then Roman Reigns won because, of course, he did. He's got his magic spear move. And then they all just decided to beat each other up afterwards. And it became a bit like rock, paper, scissors because Joe beat up Roman and then Jordan beat up Samoa Joe and then Roman beat up Jordan. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I think so. Maybe, maybe not. Anyway, I guess we're getting some kind of three-way eventually, and you can kind of tell that WWE doing this just so they can eke out the eventual Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe, like proper big match for the IC title. That's okay. Thought this was all alright. A mini up to, because after all of that, we did cut to a quick backstage segment with Kurt Angle and Jason Jordan, and then Samoa Joe popped up and he just whooped Jason Jordan's ass. That was good. And then we got a 14-minute match between Sasha Banks and Paige. I've got to give that an up as well, because I really do respect WWE giving the wrestlers time to wrestle. Also, this was Paige's first match in about a year and a half, and she didn't look rusty at all. Up. It followed the pattern you'd expect, because Paige eventually won after Absolution had got involved and they beat up Bayley and Mickie James, who were also at ringside, but that's good. You've got your dominant force in the women's division on Raw, and it is Paige's group. Then we did get two backstage skits, which are getting it down though, because then we got more stuff about Kurt Angle and Jason Jordan as Elias turned up and just started moaning to Angle that, "Oh, you take care of your son too much, you're biased towards your son." I was like, I don't want to hear about this anymore. I've heard about this too much. And then we had a bizarre segment with Enzo and Nia Jax. Now Enzo was trying to G up his recruits in the Zoe train, and then Jax turned up and basically hit on him, so I think we're about to get a Nia Jax-Enzo relationship storyline. And that will be alright if it ends with Nia absolutely destroying Enzo in the ring. I quite enjoy that, but I'm a bit worried about where this is going to go. And then, my word, we got a cruiserweight match, and it was actually really good, and they were given time, and they worked some flippy shit in there as well. Got going up. It did see Drew Gulak beat Mustafa Ali, and Tony Nese and Rich Swann were in there as well, which means next week on Raw, we will indeed see Tony Nese versus Cedric Alexander to see who's the #1 contender for Enzo's championship. But this was genuinely exciting, and some of the spots were delicious. I regret using the term delicious straight away, never going to do that again. Hopefully this is the new dawn for 205 Live as well, because also WWE's about to go on the road with 205 Live and do some live shows. I mean, it's not a turning point at all. We'll be back to nonsense in a few weeks, but here's hoping. And it's another roller coaster ride here on Ups and Downs, because Elias did come out to cut his weekly concert, and WWE went nuts. Now his performance gets an up, because his performance always gets an up, because Elias is really good at that, and he always winds the crowd up, or at least gets the crowd involved, so this was all good. But then Braun Strowman came out, and of course that was awesome, because Braun Strowman is awesome, and the crowd always thinks that Braun Strowman is awesome, but then he ate Elias alive. Now it was great because everything Braun does is great, but why was Elias the sacrificial lamb here? I mean, last week he gets put in an IC title match against Roman Reigns and seems to get a rub, and this week he's basically being squashed like some kind of jobber. So yeah, that was a down, and eventually Kane did pop on the Titantron and he said something about, you're a monster among men, but what are you going to do when it's a monster against a monster? And it looks like we're going to get that match next week, which doesn't make sense because the next pay-per-view's ages away and WWE ain't going to wait that long. The downs keep on coming though, because then we had a match between Asuka and Alicia Fox, and yeah, that's getting a down. Why? I tell you why. Because WWE seem to have forgotten that all we want to see right now is Asuka kill people, and she didn't kill Alicia Fox here. Went about 2 minutes, and Asuka basically sold for the whole time. I don't want to see that. I want to see Asuka kick ass. And up for all the absolution stuff that happened afterwards though, because I am pleased WWE didn't forget about that. Now, first of all, Asuka did slowly walk away, and they had a big stare down between her and Paige, so they're building all that up. Also, Paige did make it clear that she isn't going to beat up Alicia Fox because they're friends, and if you follow WWE on social media or watch Total Divas or whatever, you know that. However, the rest of Absolution don't feel the same, and then they did proceed to whip Alicia Fox's ass, and that's good because again, dominant brand in females Raw wrestling. That wasn't grammar. I got the wrong words in the wrong place. Let's move on. And then Finn Balor beat Bo Dallas. I don't even know what to make about that. I don't even know what the point was. I just know it was really weird. I'm not even going to react to it. It's not getting up, it's not getting it down. I need to see what happens next week. But this was really strange. We then had the most insane segment I think I've seen on Raw in years, but my word, if it wasn't damn entertaining. Getting it up. It did start with the commentators letting us know that after he lost to Bray Wyatt last week, Matt Hardy had become woken and he'd gone all crazy and he got all weird. Then we cut to Bray Wyatt on the big screen and he was doing his normal mumble jumbo. But then it happened. Hardy interrupted in full-on broken mode, and it was just absolutely wonderful. He was talking about vessels and Cleopatra and coming through loads of millenniums, and it was just the best thing I've seen on Raw in ages. The two went back and forth, like they were literally both on the big screen, and we cut between the two of them, and it ended with them both laughing maniacally. And if you had no idea what this was, or you just stumbled on wrestling for the first time, you're probably going to go, what on earth is going on, and what on earth I'm watching, but I bet you enjoyed it. I bet you enjoyed it, because this was just crazy. Matt also came across here like a completely rejuvenated dude, which was awesome, because you can just tell how much he enjoys doing this. But here's the weird thing. As much as I got a kick out of the broken Matt Hardy stuff, or woken Matt Hardy in this situation, still didn't like Bray Wyatt do it. Didn't like Bray Wyatt's rhetoric, which makes me a hypocrite and makes no sense. So if someone can explain that, answers on a postcard, try and guess my address. If it gets to me, I'll read it out on the show. Probably not going to happen. Odds are against you, but always believe, see what happens. Which did bring us to the main event of the evening, which was the Bar versus the Shield for the Raw Tag Team titles. And they went a long time too, but they also had a great match, so in terms of wrestling, it was an awesome night on Raw, and it's gonna get an up. There was a big schmoz in the middle where Joe got involved and Roman Reigns got involved, so Kurt Angle did restart the match and said, no, now it's a no DQ match, we're gonna have a winner, and then the Bar still won. So that was strange. So Sheamus and Cesaro had already held on to their titles, the rematch started, and then Sheamus and Cesaro held on to their titles. But I think what's happening here is we're building up for a three-way. They're going to put Samoa Joe with the Bar, and they're going to take on the Shield. And while we've kind of already seen that match, it will be fun, it will be good. I'll probably watch it and enjoy it. The key here, though, is that the Bar and the Shield did have another great fight with each other. I know we've seen it a lot, probably a little bit too much this time, but it was good. It was a great way to end off Raw. Kind of built to next week's again. I guess you're going to get the six-man or something. So it was all right. It was all right. So yeah, there you go. There's Raw shoved up your... That could mean something else. Shoved up your nose. That's what I meant to say. Shoved up your nose. And again, it didn't really build on too much, but I did think it was entertaining. I don't care about anything else because we've got woken Matt Hardy. And now I can just look forward to every episode of Raw for the next, I don't know, at least a year, because he's great. And if you don't like woken Matt Hardy, well, that sucks to be you. But I do, so it's good for me. Now don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about last night's Raw. Like, share and subscribe Go and follow WhatCulture on Twitter, WhatCulture WWE. Hit up some articles on WhatCulture.com and just enjoy yourself. My name is Simon from WhatCulture, and I'll see your ass tomorrow for some SmackDown ups and downs.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe below, and if you're looking for more content like this, then try a few things that are floating about around my ears. It might be fun. I can't promise it though, but it might be.